into a LAN?
No,
Has
I haven't.
anything ever been like
Early?
perfect? And you're like, okay, guys, we're scheduled to end at midnight, and you can go get a full night's rest. No, things go
not how it
into
works.
Do you remember Philadelphia 11?
Where we cast the
late?
final at 4 in the morning?
Like, yeah, the best of 5 started at like 2 a.m. or something like that.
That was rough. By the end of it, it was just who could stay awake better to win the game.
That's right. All right, ladies and gents, it's Pug Life versus the Powerpuff Boys, who hopefully have a little bit of Chemical X to be able to mix in, because Pug Life, pretty strong team so far.
Sugar spice and everything nice.
That's right.
What they're going to need to take it through here. Or what is it? Nails, snails, and puppy dog tails? Isn't that what goes into the boys?
What? I didn't know there was a thing like that, but we are into the pistol round anyway. We'll get into that. I actually want to touch on that soon enough. But a 2-for-1 so far. You're losing a couple players, but those were over towards the B site. The T's have secured B. Oh, and they've got an ace up their sleeves. You got to watch out for the long flank. Only 2 CTs left, Devine and Dangerous. And if they take too long on this one, especially with no kit, it seems like Devine's, he's
got to have the read.
He's done the numbers. But Dangerous is going through the apartments. Devine cracks off the first. Still a 2-on-2 right now, and back to a 2-on-1. All up to Devine. He's on site. They should know that he's somewhere around here. And the no-kit problem is going to rear its ugly head. Skinny with a single tap over to Devine as he touches the bomb once. Powerpuff Boys take round uno. Now, what were you saying about sugar, spice, and everything nice? What was it for the boys?
It was nails, snails, and puppy dog tails, as I recall. Nails, snails, and puppy dog tails. So these are the Powerpuff Boys. So presumably they got some buff boys over there.
That's almost unsettling.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got snails and dog tails.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's what goes into boys. You know, they're rough and tumble. They're not soft and cuddly. Although in the context of the Powerpuff Girls, they could punch people through walls.
Could they?
So
I've never really watched.
You never really.
That
was my jam. Yeah. Back when I in the elementary school days. Fun story. Once my parents, I think I was like 8, gave me a CD of music from the Powerpuff Girls.
Wow.
It was actual bands like Devo doing Powerpuff related songs. Surprisingly good CD.
Yeah, good if you're 8 years old.
No, you know what? My dad, I kid you not, still has one of the songs on his iPod that he listens to when he works out.
Well, that's one of those nostalgia things.
The monkey Mojo Jojo.
All right.
Yeah, highly recommend. Look that up. Devo's Go Monkey Go.
Look at Frask here. Man, where are all these CTs at? Maybe it's a B stack. Devine's the only player over sort of ticket booth side. He'll duck and cover. This is the atom bomb will soon detonate on this A side, I assume. And the rotations are slowly trickling out of this B side. But look at Frask. Oh, yeah, I dare you guys to come through this murder hole, which hasn't been opened yet, which is actually going to, I think, favor the CTs a little bit, but you're asking a lot. There's one kill, not too bad. At range, I think it took 3 players before he finally died and succumbed to the 9mm that were on his way. Fouls is left alone. Again, just looking for some economic damage, and with those AKs at range, that nice open A site, you can see him coming a mile away.
It's early days, but Powerpuff Boys making a nice case for themselves just in the terms of how they take sites and how they play afterwards. The flood of bodies not enough to stem the tide, and so now it's looking like Pug Life going to be saving again, pretty much a dry save. WoW has himself a CZ and a flash, maybe take an angle, flash himself out at the right time. Can get something here. I mean, the CZ is an interesting gun in current meta.
Can you give me your best?
Wow. Can we exclusively Owen Wilson refer to WoW?
Yeah,
for the rest of the
anytime
game?
you say his name, it's wow.
WoW going to be on Catwalk. It wasn't WoW, it was Captivate. I'm disappointed. Captivate gets himself 1 before going down, though, so that's a nice damage exchange. Now 2 players out and bomb planted, so there shouldn't be a whole lot more, but there is a flank over in apartments. That's going to be Fouls, who goes down in amps. Apex, not the French Apex, takes the frag. And WoW gets himself a kill on Catwalk. That's 2 kills. It's actually numbers equal, and WoW should be able to get that gun. Skinny, though, well positioned to deny Devine as he comes through, and WoW's already been found, so there's the frag. Nearly had it, Devine on the wide peak, but 7 HP will be left for Skinny. That's all he needed.
That was an F1 race car peak if I've ever seen one. I mean, he almost couldn't track him around that corner. He was flying around there. But if I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this only happened 20 minutes ago, didn't Pug Life in their match lose the pistol +2?
And
then they just deleted everything when they had rifles in hand. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Captivate has his scoped rifle, his AUG, and we'll see the Krieg come out on the other side when we switch over into the other half. Unless Powerpuff Boys win 15-0 on the first half, then it's not guaranteed. So A execute is going to be the recipe for success. That smoke may have actually bounced off something unintended, but I think it lands in the right place anyways. 5 on 3. Wow, hits the first shot, ends up falling forward as well, but the bomb's made its way into the site. Pop flash and grenades up and in. That smoke needs to blossom soon, be able to give Nell a little bit of cover. That was a bold wide peek before that smoke blossomed, but it at least secures a man advantage. You have a long flank coming in here as well. Nice shooting from Fouls to take 2 players lined up as well. Devine has now shown that he's hit stairwell, and suddenly things just coming apart at the seams for the Powerpuff Boys. They had secured that site for so long. I don't know what took them so long to plant that bomb.
I don't know what took them so long, but waiting that long allowed Captivate come through on the flank and dropping the planter. As soon as he does that, their plan just falls apart, right? They've got no one else to be able to get through. The smoke's fading, it's dissipating, players are pushing in, they've got a player on stairs, they've got a player on arches. Everything's just done. It's all she wrote. So PUGLIFE keeping 3 alive there as well is important because now they're not in that reset potential, really. They'll be able to get guns up here. They'll be able to be comfortable utility-wise.
Hi, Balti.
Balti just walked by.
Balti's not even acknowledging that we exist. He still
Balti
doesn't
Blake
hear
Evans,
us saying
ladies and
Balti.
gentlemen.
Balti Blake Evans. Nope. Okay. He doesn't care.
This is, I have it on good authority, namely him, that this is his first LAN ever. So welcome
That's
to
awesome.
the LAN. Yeah.
Yeah. Recently picked up by Dust2.us.
It's always nice to be able to see people's first LAN experience, and that's part of the wonder of this kind of a tournament, of an open tournament, of an open series where anyone can show up. You know, there's local players, there's players who've driven in from all over, but for many, this is their first time ever playing in person in a LAN environment. Maybe they'll make their way onto stage if they do well in the early games, and it's just
I
an
remember my
experience.
first LAN. I remember it was just like it was the first time, every time.
First one is always the hardest.
It is. I lost my voice. In fact, I specifically remember casting with Mark, and it was on cobblestone, and my voice was so shot and so weak, it sounded like I was like emotional. This is the greatest game of Counter-Strike I've ever seen. He's going to get the frag. It's beautiful.
Oh, Devine with the op, a monster in his own right, going to be trying to take these mid peaks, but they're using a lot of careful utility to push him back. Don't want to afford him that angle for the early pick. Aggression here from WoW. WoW's pushed all the way behind the smoke and arches. This could be devastating. Dangerous, though, and Captivate and Connect are going to shut down the mid flank, or the mid-tine, rather, of this push. It is a 3-sided push, Palace Arches, and they were hoping for mid, but they've snapped off that tine of the fork, and now it's just 2. Skinny sort of bottled up in Palace, and the remainder of his teammate, they're hanging back. They're waiting for to throw those smokes, but we'll see if they can get anything off the back of those smokes. Devine.
That's such
nice
a hard
shot.
angle. Oh my goodness, Devine. He's painting the walls red. He even saw the barrel. Now he's looking for the pixel peak across Tetris. Apex needs a miracle. One thing he does have is bomb. Well, and I guess another thing is some time. But that sand is trickling out of the hourglass soon enough. And my goodness, Devine, ladies and gentlemen.
I think he went back to the same pixel peak we saw him try earlier. He wanted it. He felt it. You see the confidence just building in this player. I mean, he's already on 6-3. That's you know, it's only been 5 rounds, but last game he was absolutely slaughtering. That we saw him him play it, and you see those confidence peaks, those angles, those flicks. He's feeling it on LAN. He's ready for it. They may be the PUGLIFE, but this time they may be the WinLife. 2-3 though. Powerpuff Boys still have a round up, but they are going to be on pistols. Not a lot that they can hope to do in this particular round. Just going to try and overwhelm over on the B bomb site. No utility behind it, so it is just going to be that raw rush. And Fouls is ready with the information. Now he's got the word about the rotation. He's going to start getting the frags. 1-2, can't get the third, but Captivate with the AUG. The scope is ready. The scope is quick, and it'll pick up the frags. Frask. Last alive in mid, just going to try and creep around, but Dangerous, he's read the angle. He's so very ready for this. No way he gets the kill. Dangerous cleans it up, of course. 3-3, PUGLIFE. As soon as they get guns out, they look like a completely different team.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I mean, I know it was an eco round anyways for the Powerpuff Boys, but their first player that peeks around that window dies, and then the bomb not only falls into the site, but it also rolls over towards the archway. It cartwheeled.
Oof.
And sometimes those bounces from the bombs are awkward. There used to be an old one on overpass, like it would hit the rail and it would just slide, but it would like turn on ice, and it was just like what?
I just remember when there was that one gap on New Inferno where if the bomb fell in, you were absolutely done. You could not get it back. Devine again going to be opening up. This op is so
everywhere.
fierce. Second kill as well. He's on the other side this time. A
He
third
knows
to his
too
name.
much.
Can't get the fourth, and now numbers have actually been equalized. It's just going to be WoW and Dangerous to try and get back through here. Bomb's down, though, and will need to be retrieved, and it's in an exposed spot for the CTs to be able to hit. There's utility here, but WoW doesn't realize he's being pushed in. JR2 Racing actually does slow down, but now he's surrounded, and Dangerous will get the 2K to clutch it out. PUGLIFE move on to 4, and Powerbuff Boys, they have to be sitting at right next to Broke.
That's a painful round again. But Devine getting all that legwork done on the front end. Now, we've seen him on the A site, and I think the Powerbuff Boys thought that same thing. They were just going to keep that information. All right, Devine's got the up towards A. Let's go B. And suddenly Devine's there, and he will lay you low. He does just that. But how many times did we see on Overpass where PUGLIFE would get an early advantage and it would quickly go into 2-on-2? Like, that happens all the time, it seems, so far today for the PUGLIFE side. And again, Powerpuff Boys just looking to plant some sort of explosive device one way or the other. And it looks like everybody's holding the flanks. Even Captivate catching Apex coming up through the tunnels, and it's only 2 men standing. Nella, or is it Alan? His name's backwards.
Yeah, it's one of those guys who does that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So, and it always gets you the first time, Kobe, that like you'll read it all the way through, and you're like, Nella, that doesn't quite sound too masculine. It's probably Alan. Yep, it's Alan.
He was dancing through flames at the beginning. He tried to, there was a molly and arches, and he tried to dance through it to get the D shot. Nearly gave him his life, and finally gets cleaned up at the end. It just really, there's nothing doing for the Powerbuff Boys. At least Skinny still has the bomb. If he somehow wins this duel with Dangerous, he could get over to B and maybe sneak out a plant, but that was never a real possibility. Dangerous just too rock solid with the sprays. We'll clean it up. He's on 10K cash. They didn't have to rebuy a single gun in that, so PUGLIFE, their coffers are overflowing. The war chest has swollen to a dramatic degree. They got cash for days.
For days.
For days.
Speaking of war chest, have you played that one game yet with the pirates and stuff?
That one, Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
I haven't. I kind of want to. Have you?
No, it's closed. It was closed beta, wasn't it?
Yeah, we should talk to somebody about that.
Yeah, maybe.
Work our connects.
There's,
Anyone have any connects? We need some.
Connects. Yeah. Well, we got the first pick. Dangerous played aggro into mid, and he's going to stick around. Other than that, it's a single defender towards that A site. That's going to be wow.
Wow.
And well, seems pretty mobile for the PUGLIFE side. Nice grenade. 66 HP's left for him, so that's actually going to threaten him by some of the M4s that are there, and nobody suspects the couch. The couch lurk. Actually, everybody does. Everybody peeks it, but this is a really expensive position. The flashbang actually pushes JR2?
I know, it's a real hard name to
JR2.
JR24 Racing. We're just calling him JR.
JR. We'll call him JR.
Not the Vegas squad of JR.
There's too many cooks in the kitchen, but Fowles seems to be the chef on board. Oh, now Captivate wants to take that title. Leaves Apex alone, 1v5 again. So it seems like PUGLIFE, once they get rifles, they're just kicking it into high gear.
I think so much of it is just confidence. I mean, that peak early on in this round to open things up from Dangerous, just rocketing up mid. Usually when you see that happen, you'll see like 2 so that they have the chance for the trade and the re-peak. But he was just feeling so good about it. It's just a 1 raw peak, opens the round up, falls away, and there's really, again, no entry for Powerbuff Boys. There was no point in that round where you go, okay, they got a chance in this. They were smacked in the face right at the beginning, and as soon as that smack came in, it just all fell apart. So we're back on an eco.
Yeah, yeah. Now, one thing I've seen is the sacrificial lamb for PUGLIFE seems to be Fowles. Except, like, he might die a lot, is what I'm seeing, but he's always getting at least 2 kills. And that makes things so much easier for the rest of the team, especially when you can get like Devine, who just needs to post up on an angle. And we see again, wow, goes all the way into the palace, gets the first kill. A bold move for anti-eco. Well, you're getting into a pretty good loss bonus right now for the Powerpuff Boys, so they can do a little bit of a half buy right here with Armor Plus. And it's going to be a difficult one for the Powerpuff Boys. If they had an opportunity, it would have been able to punish WoW earlier.
Wow. Allen here with the Deke. I mean, they're just basically hoping someone faces into one of these 3 Dekes and they get lucky and they rip a head off the shoulders and that gives them some sort of an entry. And recognizing that potential, PUGLIFE is just not going to show. And there's no reason to. There's no incentive for PUGLIFE. There's nothing to be gained, really. It's a minute on the clock. They know that all the pressure is on the Powerbuff Boys to make something happen. Devine actually getting aggressive, but Op wins out over Deke in this instance. And he's going to escape completely unscathed. Shot not even tickling his toes as he can now retreat. and another man off the board for Power Buff. They're going to try and chase him down, but he's staying alive.
Oh, the timing's great. They're spamming the wall, though. Apex doesn't strike true yet. No scope from Devine, looking for more. He's down. Now there's going to be a piece of firepower that could actually lay low some of these players from PUGLIFE's side. That has jumped into Sandwich, of all places, and he's running out of real estate real fast. JR has been hunkered down. I mean, a little bit of sourdough in here. He gets his way out. Pokes out, but there's too many angles to clear out from there. And you got Ticket Booth, you got Jungle, which ends up taking him down. Even A main would be a threat after that much time has expired, and against a team like PUGLIFE who like to play aggro.
He was bottled up. Time is against him. Time is ticking down. There's nowhere to move. There's nothing to do. There's been, since the guns came out, PUGLIFE have really given no quarter whatsoever. It's not even just that they've been clutching out rounds and winning rounds. They haven't been allowing Power Buff boys much in their rounds. So Omp out for JR24, and he's gonna try and lead the way with this. He's hoping for the aggressive pounce play again.
Yeah, that's mind setting. Just from WoW's peak last round, you see this. You see them playing really passive. They're expectant to see somebody from PUGLIFE to. They want to slap somebody's wrist, you know, and maybe it's Dangerous's wrist. A Pop Flash preludes his way up and in. He sees nothing, and they back out. So Power Buff boys are playing okay for right now, but as soon as that 1 minute mark eclipses, I think you're going to start to see the Power Buff boys putting themselves into a position to at least execute. And where the bomb stands now, I think it's going to be a split A.
Split A could be a good read here. Utility comes in. That's definitely a misthrown smoke. Going to land at the bottom of arches. Maybe
Too buff. Too buff.
Too buff. The arm was too strong.
Yeah, way too strong.
Skewed it. So it's going to land at the bottom of arches. Maybe a wasted bit of utility there. They still do have a lot to execute with. And now the smokes will come in. So the execute will happen on the A-bomb site. There's only one player here, and it's on Ticket. So it's a pretty passive hold from PUGLIFE. Maybe an avenue through, but they'll rotate the alt through to Ticket as well. And there's a player coming from Connector. So they're allowing the take.
There it is. You need that CT smoke and rifle round. It's fine to get away with on pistol round not having a CT smoke, but there it goes. And it's a late one too, but your T's are starting to get mowed down on this crossfire that's set up, and they haven't really gained any territory. So it's about to be a dry site. And they're digging deep into the pocketbooks to see what utility they got left. Get rid of it if you've got it. And yeah, time is about to expire. The bomb's gotten put down, but it was early enough to get put down, but he doesn't survive. Not enough control on the A site for the Power Buff boys. And you know, I just last round actually recognized it was Power Buff boys and not Power Puff boys. Reading problem. Stopped in the 7th grade. Probably the last real book I read. Actually, as a matter of fact, I was in Flom's stream not that long ago, and one of his viewers recommended a book to me. I bought that book, and I have it here on the trip with me.
What's the book?
I don't remember.
All that story, and that's
all
just
that
a bait.
It's a sci-fi book. It's pretty good.
Oh, here's a nice entry into a round for the Buff boys. They've nailed 2, and the bomb will be planted. They've had so much trouble actually getting the bomb down once they take sight on A, and immediately afterwards, Frask walks right through the crosshair of Devine, and you just can't do that. Devine is not going to miss. You can't give him an opportunity. So now the numbers are equalized, and Skinny doesn't have a gun, so the advantage does seem to be in PUGLIFE's pocket, but time is ticking down. If they can just delay long enough, it's just not looking like it's going to happen. JR24 wins the duel. That's the saved op. That's something. Devine down, but it's just going to be JR24. He's going to have to take the peek. Gets fouls. He gets it. It's a 3K for JR24 to finally put a gun round on the board for Power Buff boys. It was what they desperately needed, and they made it happen.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, we've seen that probably 3 or 4 times at this point where rifle rounds look like they're solid for the T side against PUGLIFE, and then PUGLIFE draw it back. They bring it right back, and they win the majority of all those 2v2s that we've seen so far. Finally, someone's able to punish them for that. But they go into a double op setup, and my goodness, if you don't have that mid smoke down, Devine is going to punish you every time. The T side almost has to, the way the meta is right now, that smoke that's there has to be there every time for you to have any presence in mid. This would be a heartbreaker of an eco reset.
I think nightmares of Devine's op are going to be flashing through the Power Buff boys' side tonight. He's just been an absolute terror, a monster on this map. there's really no quarter. He's been taking different angles. He played A, he's played B.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
He just took the mid peak. You have no safe quarter from him. You basically have to utility off every possible op angle if you want to have any hope of making it onto a site without taking huge losses.
And see, what's great about that is you have these advanced positions like Faust, who if he's the early warning, he's the NORAD for Devine to get in position on rotate. So Faust dies, but it's an early indication that the T's have B apartments now. Let's see where Devine ends up going. He's in the market, staring at those windows.
It's interesting that Powerball boys have realized that since Founds is such an early warning system, that by triggering that early warning, by setting off the alarms, they can actually draw rotations out from elsewhere. They haven't drawn a full rotation, though. It is a 2-2 site split. And now the aggressive push from Dangerous. What a ballsy move with
he's going to catch the bomb.
He's all the way in T-spawn. If he looks the right way here.
He knows it. Here's it now. There's the shoulder. The shadow sells out Skinny. And it is only Apex, 1v4 to 1-3, but 20 seconds left. And he's got a long ways to go to get to that bomb. And that smoke, that's virtually the end of the round, but he takes the aggressive side, goes straight through it. Now he has to worry about getting clocked at this point. There's no chance to win the round. You got 5 seconds, and PUGLIFE, knowing that they're in a pretty bad economic situation, could be calling just to try and clock him out. He's going to set up camp, though. Okay, smart move. Even peeking that jump was a bit bold. But it is an eco reset. They save an AK out of this, and that's something.
Here's the force. So if they win this, maybe they get themselves to 9-6, 9-5. 9-5 would frankly be enough. But, I mean, we saw it happen last time, although ultimately the 5 side did not come out victorious.
No, PUGLIFE's a team that likes to control the pace of the game, and when they hit their T side, like a lot of teams do in the main and in the Mountain Dew League divisions, they love to control pace. They love T-side. That's just their bread and butter. So Devine, hearing players underneath him, evacuates the window room, but he has done some damage with those Molotovs, and he still does damage with those Molotovs. 3 players sub 80 right now, and that means that the M4s actually have the one-tap capability if they have head armor against them. They're going to go for a boost in, and who's in the right position? As is tradition, it's Devine. But does he get shoulder baited? Yep. Ooh. Oh, he was actually flicked up towards the window.
I don't know quite what he saw.
Trigger
he knew
happy.
there were players there. And there is actually a player boosted into that ladder room, so maybe he felt him a little bit too much.
That's sneaky.
Devine will go back, though, to get Frask, and he
How
catches
does he know?
Allen going back through the murder hole. Devine, he's got the reads. He has divined these peaks, and he's just hitting every
I mean, his reading of that is, well, I stopped looking at the window long enough. They probably got up in there because he dealt with the player that was in the connector. And for him he was on this angle that gives him an angle if a T is in the window room and pushes him, he's got a lot of time to be able to shoot him. He also happens to be looking at the murder hole too. I don't know if he anticipated that the player went through that murder hole unless he's got some awesome headset where he heard him get out there, take a steps over toward the CT side. I don't know. But that kill is going to at least open up the B site. Dangerous is there. Now, you've lost Devine, but a 2-on-2 again for PUGLIFE's side. But that's the jack-in-the-box that's going to rear its ugly head, is the fact that you have a T that's in our window room right now. Dangerous is alone towards this site, searching, hunting, and he found it. And he knows, because that last kill from JR24 was so far away. This is going to be a miracle of a shot. The bomb's not even planted for him to take that one.
Not even the time for the miracle. So that's kind of the circumstance where, yes, it was a brilliant flank, but maybe too brilliant. Too many steps ahead. You can't get to sight. You can't get the kill. So they get reset. They've got an AK saved on JR24, but basically no cash elsewhere. It's going to be the really broken buy on the last round of half. There's a Mac 10 on Apex and Skinny and a Scout out.
Yeah, so that last round, the player that was in the B site needed a better defensive position if his friend was so far away. So you have the Scout and the AK that's been saved and grandfathered a couple rounds is really the best bit of firepower that they got. Wow, he's going to throw a smoke. That's going to at least give him a lot of angle here, but it's a team kill, actually. Skinny, he 1G'd it. I believe that was a Molotov. He ended up killing himself. It's a 1v4, just JR, and he's in sandwich. Paints himself into that tight little corner. I don't know where the molly ended up happening, but we've got our first 1G of the tournament.
First, probably not the last.
No, definitely not.
Never the last.
I can't wait till we get on train or even nuke, where there's possibilities of fall damage. Yeah.
Oh, the config.
Someone's gonna fall.
No, that wasn't config. That was Sunny. The Sunny.
Yeah, I remember it was on Nuke on Sunday,
On
right?
Nuke for the ECS.
Yeah, he went up the
final.
ladder and like came off the ladder
2
and fell.
HP,
Yeah,
killed himself,
it
and
happened.
that actually kind of decided the map in some ways.
Yep.
That was huge. So, into the second half, Pistol, Powerbuff boys need to get something done here if they're going to have any hope whatsoever in this map. They don't even have the full 5 to give them that nice leeway. They'll get 1 gun round, and that'll be it if they lose this pistol. So, it's going to be aggression from PUGLIFE. They roll right out, and they're trading frags. It's actually a little bit of team help, but damn, they are hitting it with the USPs. Chase going to be on. Console going to come up for just a brief second. But the frags are out, and now the numbers have been equalized. It was really good early damage, but now the bomb can be planted.
Yeah, plant the bomb. Plant the bomb triple and allow Captivate to push out a CT, and he gets that kill as well. And it's going to leave it all up to Apex. Top of the stairs right now. He knows that there's one in CT, and he knows that the bomb's planted triple, so he knows where both of these guys are right now. And a nice shot gets the headshot, and he's got them both. Apex 1v2 clutch in a do-or-die situation. The economy for Powerpuff Boys is at least substantiated for the time being. The 11-4 half puts your CT side in a really precarious position, but that secures themselves really. If they lost that, they had 1 rifle round. Now that they win that, they have at least 2 guaranteed rifle rounds, and probably more considering they're going to ride this snowball.
That just builds the margin for error so much higher.
Yeah.
I was going to comment something about, neither of these players have armor. It's possible, but he just hit both headshots, so armor
actually,
or not.
he hit 3 headshots there. The first one passed through a box,
Oof.
and so it didn't have all the heat on it. And then he just went headshot after that.
So it's going to be the eco for PUGLIFE. They've just gone full P250s and the Deagle. And interesting, they did get the bomb down, so they're just going to save up for that AK in the 3rd round. Out from underpass, players are going to come snaking. This should be just about a cleanup round. It's 5 SMGs, though, which is a bold read. Only 1 kill to Fowz's name. And PUGLIFE, they'll yield the 6th round. So the PBBs.
PUGLIFE's not too hot on their pistols.
No.
I feel like they're giving
or their
teams.
Anticos.
Yeah, I mean they're giving teams like a 4 or 5 round handicap, and they're still winning games 16-5, 16-6.
And maybe that works in the bracket play or in the group play, where you maybe don't have the full caliber of competition. But once we get into bracket play, if they make it through, that may not fly. Giving up 6 rounds in a map, or 3 even, just to not a firm contest.
Well, there's the first frag. Fowz is there, and my goodness, Allen actually just takes like 8 or 9 bullets through the box, ends up dying. And the T's do the same thing. They don't smoke off CT, but they push into CT, which has the same effect. It costs you an extra body, but the bomb's not going down. JR hits the next shot, and I believe that was through a box, and stops the bomb planter. So Devine's going to have to pick up the baton and repeat the situation.
This time, JR24 not going to take the shot through box. I was worried he'd repeat the same angle. He's looking for the jump through firebox, though, and he is ready for the situation. Post plan is on. Numbers are equalized, but there's not a lot of health on WoW. So he's just going to sit back in CT. No players will be coming from that direction, though. There is utility to get onto site, but dangerous with a nice quick shot on Skinny and good damage onto JR as well. Devine is here, and Devine is a monster, so Devine will clutch it out. Contributions from all remaining players to firm out that clutch. 12-6. PUGLIFE again, guns up, and the gas is on.
PUGLIFE got a little timid on that one, too. Nobody was peeking the angles because the bomb, we got to remember the bomb planter initially got banged while planting a bomb, banged through the box, and died. So they knew JR had an op. Nobody wanted to peek the angle, so they pre-fired one little angle, and that's as most as they did. What that allowed was the Powerpuff Boys to get in close with rifles. And just a shame it didn't work out for them.
Nova.
We have the Nova.
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 Nova. Out on the server. Nova Scotia. I don't know why we were going there. Nova. Out on the server.
For a rip, are you, bud?
Pistols as well. There's 1 M4 purchased from Skinny. The hero buy. We'll see if Skinny can make the hero play. It's a bit of an interesting buy on the other side. Wow. Gonna open it up. Wow, that was a really nice push, but it got countered nicely.
I'm scared JR right here. You got a guy with a shotgun at that range. Don't miss. Don't let that guy race car peek you, and then he just TKs to the dome.
Oh.
That'd be so scary. But yeah, well, they got the bomb up here towards the apartments. They are leaning towards a little bit of a B hit. Captivate's going to hold the catwalk side right now. Makes his way in. He's down and out. There's a weapon to be recovered. In fact, I hear the Nova striking true against Fowz. Now, Dangerous is flanked as well. This is a force buy from the Power Buff boys that they were grasping at some straws right now, and they now hold a man advantage.
And a rifle. Back up. There should be a second rifle retrievable in CT, and I think they're going to realize that. They maybe think that there's another player here because no one's gone for it. Now it's picked up. So maybe something can happen here. Guns equalize, gun advantage rather, for the other side, for the Power Buff boys.
Surprise, surprise. Nice headshot there, even though he didn't get the kill. It's going to at least set things up for the future. So, Devine and Wow.
Wow.
JR is going to lead the way with Allen quickly in tow. But they've got nice post plants. It's planted for Catwalk, and Devine wins that first fight, so WoW doesn't need to do anything. Let Allen play 1v1 against Devine, because there's no angle that Allen can be punished by Catwalk right now. And so much time is being played out. And there's the trade. Quick trade. Unnecessarily traded right there. WoW could have just played it and played bomb, because the bomb was planted for him anyway for Catwalk, but he ends up taking the fight, not allowing him to reset that rifle on his shoulder.
Guns out, rounds one. It just seems to be the tale of every Pug Life side we've seen so far, which is a grand total of 2.
That was a force buy from Power Puffs. I mean, it was played pretty well.
It was. You're not wrong. The Nova got a kill. Anytime that happens, something went right.
Made some money.
Made a little cash mola.
Is it $800 for a shotgun?
900.
900 bucks.
900 cash. Cash monies. It's going to be a bit of a spread here. We're just on pistols, no armor as well. Maybe the Deegs get lucky. Maybe someone closes distance with a P2000, but life, it tends to be a bit punishing in this kind of a circumstance. JR close up. Could
nice
maybe
smoke.
Catch up fast.
There's a next level. Let's take a look at that smoke over towards T-spawn. It's a butte. Tried to smoke mid. That Kobe, though, was a little bit better. That was a bit on point. So they are going towards B, and if you're going to lose an anti-eco round, it happens more often at the B site than it does at the A side, at least. Fouls is getting a little bit close, but again, it's just a P2000. He wanted to have a little bit of trigger discipline, JR did, but somebody found him from this site. And they get in, and they expand. Dangerous gets 2 kills with a MAC-10, looking for a couple more. Dangerous has a fresh magazine, and there it is. 3 kills for his SMG. Actually, it's an ace for Dangerous. There was one with a grenade.
You're right. It was either a 4K or a 3K or a 5K.
It was an ace.
Full anti-eco ace?
Yeah. Making money.
Starting it off with the Kobe is always nice.
$7,000.
That's style points.
Oh, and he throws these. Shames the MAC-10. Throws it on the
Disrespect.
ground.
Ugh. Put it on a pedestal. It won you that ace. 14-6, guns out. Very, very limited utility. The barest of utility, and it's pretty much all spent already.
Through the smokes they go. Wow, on the entry frag. Apex couldn't even set up for himself. Now Molly's come in. Triple Molly to stairs. Look at this. Let's just a screenshot as we take another look at it. The Molly's burn. The players are forced back, and we are into a 4-on-3. Wow.
Wow.
2 more.
Nice 2K.
2 more. Yeah, that was his entry as well. That was crazy. I mean, Pug Life had money coming into this round. And so they just said, let's play super fast. We're going to have 1 round in bonus anyways, at least cash that we've earned. And they end up winning it hands down. So now you're in a 15-6 score line, similar to what the Pug Life have seen earlier today as well. And Power Buff are down to buying the farm.
Captivate's got a scope out as well. SG, he's happy. Got the Krieg, got the scope, got the rifle. Meanwhile, Skinny with the MP9, Apex with the UMP, going to be the best shots in this round unless GR24 can make some magic happen. He doesn't have a scope on the gun, but it is still that 1-hit potential if he hits ahead. And it's going to be a complete lack of presence on B. They've wrapped 2 players through T-spawn already to try and go for the flank, but the flank won't matter that much if they've already got the bomb planted and post-plant secured. So it's going to be a 5-on-5 retake.
They know what's happening because Frask breaks the vents super late in the round. So like, okay, they're just now coming in towards the B site. And they have picked up a couple, but look where the Krieg is. Allen holds it, and all these CTs now have some rifles. Dangerous looking for the transfer to the 3rd as he picks up 2. 1v4 to a 1v2 very quickly, but they should know where he is. He's either behind pillar, but he's got a sneaky spot. He's now found the next kill. He's now ducked underneath the bench right now. He's being banged through the wall. He's looking for the ace, and Dangerous. Ace clutches it, 1v4. That is insane from Dangerous. I don't even, we haven't even said his name too many times. We always whatever, but now it's the Dangerous show.
Well, didn't he just ace with the Mac 10?
Is that 10 kills in a row?
I think that may be 10 kills in a row. Was it Dangerous with the Mac 10?
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow.
That was a great game.
That was a
it was
great
a
game.
16-6 game, but still, you
was
saw
a
the
great
individual
finale.
effort. That was great. I mean, we were talking Devine up the whole game, and then Dangerous.